It's been a rainy day here on the campus of Rowan University, but that's not stopping either of these teams from taking the field here as the number 18 ranked Rowan University Profs plays host to the Washington College Shoremen for an out-of-conference matchup. I'm Jay Clark alongside Shane Alexa. And Shane, both of these teams not in the same conference, but conference play is looming around the corner. This could be the final tune-up game for both of these squads.
Yeah, Jake, for me, for both these teams, this is a get-right game, especially for the Profs. Just 4 days ago, they lost to Haverford. For me, it's a get-right game, and here we might have another opportunity here for the Profs to get started early.
Looked like Sydney Kowalczyk there on the shot. Now it's being cleared out by the Shore women. The Profs still maintain control with it as Gracie Merrick sends the ball into the shooting circle, and now it'll be cleared out by Washington. Rowan comes into this game with a 4-3 record, number 18 in the National Field Hockey Coaches Association Division III poll. But we could see them potentially fall with a tough loss last game to Haverford 4-2.
Yeah, Jake, for me, my key to this game is the Profs are really going to have to outpossess this Shore woman team. There's a shot there.
Good opportunity, but this one will be cleared away. The Profs putting their foot on the gas here early and often against a Washington College Shore women team coming into this one 3-4. They were 10-8 last year playing out of the Centennial Conference. This one is hit there by Sophia Wiesler. Wiesler fighting for it, trying to get in the shooting circle. Tess Herman had it for a moment, but it'll be cleared out now here on the near side. It was Emma Campbell who chased after it for a moment.
Yeah, Jake, the big difference between these two teams right now is that the Shore women are coming off a win. The Profs are coming off a loss. Let's see if that affects this game in any way. Momentum may be on the Shore women's side early on in this game.
Well, the Profs look like they've got momentum with it on the field, but a whistle will stop the play after the foul. And the Shore women look to move the ball up the field. It's taken away there on the far side. By the looks of it, Alexa Ronning, they get it back to her. Broken up. We've got whistles, and it'll stay with Rowan. So right around the 24-yard line, if we were playing by the football field. But this one, a shot from deep there in the shooting circle. It was saved there by Sherman, who's had a terrific junior year. The junior out of Manchester, Maryland, 47 saves in 7 starts. Entering the game here today, only 11 goals allowed for Washington. And now the Profs looking to reset and play into this back line here.
Yeah, Jake, to say that Sherman's season has been unbelievable is honestly an understatement. A 1.53 goals against average. She's been amazing in net for this Shore woman team, and that's definitely the Profs are going to have to find a way to get past her early on in this game.
Player there tripped up, that being Samantha McMahon, one of the captains here for Washington. But here come the Shore women. A nice ball sent into the shooting circle. Just couldn't get her stick on it. Was Emma Campbell, the senior forward. And the Profs will take the ball from right outside the shooting circle, and they'll send it now to the near side of the field to Wiesler. Wiesler, one of the standout freshmen on this team here for the Profs, is now they're moving with some speed. Battaloni here with it on the near side. Some nice stick work to try and get around her defender, and she'll draw a foul, and the Profs will maintain possession. Battaloni still with it. Works herself inside the shooting circle, looking to try and make a cross. We've got whistles, and it'll go Washington's way.
Yeah, even though it didn't go the Profs' way there, Battaloni doing a good job of creating offense there for the Profs, especially on that right-hand side. Like to see that continue throughout this ball game.
So they'll continue to work on the near side of the field, but it's taken away. Mary Kate Anson had it for a moment, taken away by Tess Herman. Tess Herman, one of the standout players on this Rowan team, one of the captains, getting a start here today. The 2024 New Jersey Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Has 2 goals on the year, listed as a defender, but is used by Michelle Andre, the head coach for the Profs, almost like a Swiss Army knife. You see her fly from one end of the field to the other. Has 2 goals on the year. They both came against Muhlenberg on the road, and the Profs looking to get in business, but a foul there in the middle of the field. Stick went too high for Wiesler, and here come the Shore women.
Yeah, Jake, as you said, Herman is all over the field. is essentially, as you said, a Swiss Army knife all over the field. You can put her at any place, and she's going to succeed, as we've seen throughout this year in her tenure at Rowan.
Was a captain last year as a junior, now as a senior, a captain yet again. Player that head coach Andre loves having out each and every time the Profs take the field, as she creates another takeaway there for Rowan. The ball still skipping up the field. Battaloni chasing after it and will get there. Sends the ball now inside the circle. Profs had an opportunity, but it's broken up. And Washington with another good defensive clear, although the Profs have really done a nice job of controlling the midfield and applying pressure. But now here comes Washington. It's Campbell with it here on the near side of the field, working towards the outside, now inside the shooting circle. Sends the ball in, but it's taken away. Nice play there from Paige Gray, the sophomore, to break that one up. It'll go out of play.
Yeah, huge play there from Paige Gray, doing a good job of defending that one there. So it'll go the other way in favor of the Profs.
McManus sent it into play, but it's taken away. Weglars was the one to get her stick on it, but Rowan gets it back. A bit of a back and forth here in the middle of the field. Still no scores. We're about midway through now this first quarter of action. As that ball is sent, it will go over the back line, so Rowan will regain possession.
Yeah, for the Profs. We talked about Tess Herman, how she's really that facilitator of this attack and obviously a great defender as well. I want to talk about Mary-Kate Anzen for the opposition all over the field as well. It's a great save there.
Rowan had a nice opportunity. Battaloni just couldn't run it down, and it was Charlotte Sherman who was able to just kick the ball out of there. Already busy here early in this first quarter. 81% on the save percentage this year for Sherman. And as you talked about, a very low goals allowed average. Certainly one of the highlight players to point out for this Shore women team. But the Profs are trying to get the offense going here early and often, as Herman had it taken away. Trying to get it back there for the Profs is Wiesler. Off the stick of Gracie Merrick, and now she's maintained possession, looking for some help. Finds Herman, as Herman will run it down. About 7 minutes and some change remaining here. Ball sent into the shooting circle there by Herman, but taken away by Washington. And it's been all Rowan pretty much offensively. Mariah Giuliano, the goalkeeper, in the cage today for Rowan, not having a lot of action, as there was a save, now a shot. A lot of things happening there in front of the cage. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of commotion there, Jake, to say the least.
But Sherman made yet another good save. Profs already have 2 formal shots on goal here as McManus sends the ball into the circle, trying to find a stick of her teammate. She does. Going flying is Sherman to make the stop, but there's whistles, and Rowan will have the first penalty corner of the day.
Yeah, great opportunity here incoming for the Profs. And going into this game, we knew the Profs were going to outpossess the opposition, but it's just a matter of getting enough shots on Sherman. An elite goalkeeper like this have to get a lot of shots on her and test her early, and that's what the Profs are doing with another opportunity coming our way.
So Rowan here will take the first corner of the day from either side as the clock is stopped at 6 minutes and 29 seconds. The first set opportunity here for the Profs. It's sent in outside the shooting circle. That one is shot and offline off the stick of Alexa Ronning, the senior from Marlton, New Jersey.
Yeah, Ronning doing exactly what I was just talking about, getting shots. Unfortunately for her, it wasn't on target, but has the general idea there. Get a lot of shots on the goalkeeper. One of them's bound to go in.
Yeah, the more pressure you can apply on this back line and Charlotte Sherman there in the cage, the more opportunities you have. At some point, the defense, it feels like it has to crack, and certainly the right idea. The Profs have certainly controlled the pace of this game so far as they look for another opportunity here. It's Ronning in the middle of the field. Loses it for a second, but whistles, and the foul against Washington will keep it with Rowan. Now it'll go back for the Shore women with about 5.5 minutes remaining here on Rowan Television Network. If you're just joining us, I'm Jake Clark. Alongside me, Shane Alexa. No score so far, but it's been all Rowan in almost every offensive category. 2 shots compared to Washington's none, and the 1 corner so far here today.
Yeah, so far for Washington's defense, it's a bend, don't break type situation.
A nice takeaway there by McManus. Here on the near sideline, she'll have it as play is stopped, and she gets ready to send it back in. Lofts this one high into the sky, but Whistles will have it going the other way.
Yeah, as we've talked about, momentum in favor of the Profs. Washington just needs 1 goal-scoring opportunity to kind of swift that momentum going the other direction. They want to stay in this game.
So the Profs with another takeaway. It was Merrick there trying to find Ava Thomas. Thomas, the speedster with some space, driving now deep into that shooting circle, sends a crossover, ball being bobbled around. A save was made there by Sherman, but by the looks of it now, the second penalty corner of the game here for the Profs. And it'll be Tess Herman, the one to take the corner.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen a lot of commotion in the circle there in front of the cage. Another huge opportunity here for Tess Herman and company, looking to get the first goal on the board for either side today.
So Herman is set, sends it into play. They get it to Ronning. Ronning finds Kowalczyk. Back to Ronning. Ball being passed around. There's a shot from well outside. A nice save by Sherman. That one certainly had some heat on it heading towards the cage, but Charlotte Sherman has been busy and has answered the bell every single time here so far, keeping the Shore women in this game and keeping the score right where it is at 0-0. But now Herman back with it. Ball inside the shooting circle yet again for the Profs, as they're looking to try and make something happen. It's Sydney Kowalczyk, the standout freshman who leads the team in goals with 6, but the ball is poked away there by Emily Marson.
Yeah, good defensive play by Marson there, just to get it out of harm's way. Ball will still stay with the Profs.
So that one a little bit too hot on the pass there. Was intended for Gracie Merrick. Goes off her stick and out of bounds. So it'll be Marson to pick up here for the Shore women. Trying to get things moving down on the near sideline, but it's taken away, and it'll be Taylor Prendergast to send it into play now for the Profs. Seeing her first couple minutes here tonight.
Yeah, the one thing I'd like to see the Profs do a little bit better job of is they love to use that near side of the field, as we've seen so far in this game. I'd like to see them switch the field a little bit and use that far side.
Good back and forth action here in this first quarter of play. The defense for Washington has been excellent so far. The Profs still knocking on the door, trying to find the back of the cage. Not a whole lot going offensively here for Washington, but they're looking to change that. A wayward pass finds the stick of Ronning. She sends a ball up the field, goes off the foot of Kowalczyk. That one's certainly going to sting.
To say the least. Yeah, just unfortunate there for Kowalczyk. Wrong place, wrong time. Good idea there from the Profs. Would have had numbers going the other way.
But again, Sydney Kowalczyk, the standout freshman. She was a red shirt last year at Wagner College. Has appeared in all 7 games to this point for Rowan. Started in 6. The only non-start for her was against Stevens on September 10th. Leads the team in goals with 6 this season as a freshman. Certainly impressive, and I'm sure that head coach Michelle Andre loves having that. A freshman leading the team in goals. There's a lot of youth here on this Rowan team, mixed with some good veterans, Tess Herman being one of them, who had the ball just moments ago.
Which sets them up very well in the future in my mind. Jake, as you said, a senior in Tess Herman, and then you have a lot of skilled freshmen as well.
Yes, certainly the future is bright here, and the present is also bright for this Rowan team, number 18th in the country in all of Division III. in that NFHCA poll is now the profs are knocking on the door yet again. Inside the shooting circle, but double teamed. Now across, sent in, but we've got whistles and it'll go Washington's way. Looked like that was Kaylee Wenzel trying to dribble the ball around two defenders.
Yeah, it's a situation we're just trying to do a little bit too much there.
Less than a minute now here in this first. It's Wenzel who takes it away. Found Ava Thomas, one of those other freshmen, and one who's already received some hardware, the NJAC Rookie of the Week just a couple weeks ago. Herman with a shot, but collided sticks, didn't get much of the ball, and the clock continues to run here. Have to give credit to this Washington back line, and especially credit to their goaltender in Charlotte Sherman.
Yeah, Sherman's been all over the place here in this first quarter. As I said earlier, almost a bend, don't break type situation.
So just a couple seconds remaining here in this first quarter. A shot from outside the circle. It finds the back of the cage, but it will not count as it was taken outside the circle. Nobody got a stick on it, and that'll do it. The score stays knotted up right where it started as it's 0-0 at the end of one. We'll take a quick step off the air here on Rowan Television Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, that
No score at the end of the first quarter as we are just about moments away from the second as the ball is sent into play by Washington here on Rowan Television Network. I'm Jake Clark alongside Shane Alexa. And Shane, it certainly felt like it was, even though there's no score, all profs there in that first quarter.
No, it certainly was. Definitely a defensive-minded game thus far. The profs inches close to scoring there in the first quarter. Hopefully we'll see the profs' first goal of the ball game in a couple minutes.
And Rowan with 4 shots, 3 shots on goal and 2 corners compared to a bunch of zeros for Washington in that category. But you have to give credit to their defense, the back line, and their goalie, Charlotte Sherman, holding strong here to keep this game knotted up at all zeros. It's Campbell now here on the near side of the field, just around at midfield and still going with it. A couple of profs chasing after her and forcing it out of play.
And so far to start off this second quarter, Washington has outpossessed the Profs. I know it's early in the second quarter, but a good sign if you're a Washington fan.
It certainly is. Weglar's now with it over in the corner. Just drops this one back for Marson. Marson sending a ball. It's picked up on the stick of Mary-Kate Anson. And that one goes now out of play. But Mary-Kate Anson, the senior from Newark, Delaware, one of the highlight players on this team, 5 goals, 11 total points, was the 2023 team MVP, and is one of the few players on this team. 2024, she was an All-Centennial Conference honorable mention. In 2023, she made second team All-Centennial Conference, so certainly one of the star players here and somebody to keep an eye out on for the stat sheet here as she gets the ball on her stick yet again.
Yeah, not only a goal scorer, but also a facilitator of their offense as they look to go to work here.
It's on the stick of Anson. She tries to drop it back for Weglars. We've got whistles, and it looks like it'll be going in favor of the Profs.
Yeah, in spite of what's happened early on in the second quarter, I really think if Washington's going to want to win this game, they're going to have to win it on the counterattack. I think the Profs are going to outpossess the opposition, as we've seen. Although Washington might have something to say about that in the second quarter as they've outpossessed the Profs thus far.
Yeah, they've certainly applied a lot of pressure here in the early part of the second quarter compared to when it felt like it was all Rowan, as that one goes over the out-of-bounds line off the stick of Ariella McManus, the junior from Blackwood, New Jersey. Marson was the one to send it back into play, and McManus will send it into the middle of the field, found Kowalczyk. They get it now to the near side for Merrick. So Rowan looking to get out on the run. It's taken away, though, by Kendall Thompson. Was intended there for Lily Badaloni, and a nice clear there from the Shore women.
Yeah, they're really trying to find Badaloni on that right near side. As I said before, I like to see them switch the field, and as I say that, they look to do that.
Look to go to the far side of the field to Paige Gray, but it's intercepted there by Washington. Washington now with some momentum as they'll take a drop around that RU logo on the 25-yard line. Washington entering the shooting circle on the far side of the field. Here's a good chance, and that one will find the back of the cage. So the Shore women are the first to break our scoreless tie with a goal here in the second.
Yeah, if you watch the first quarter, you would not think that the Shore woman would be the first one to score, and they definitely surprised us coming out with the early goal, in the second quarter. And just as we talked about earlier, Mary-Kate Anson's the one to score early on with yet another goal early on in this early season.
Goal number 6 now for Mary-Kate Anson, one of the captains for this Shore women team. And she breaks the scoreless tie here, but the Profs are already back on the move. Inside the shooting circle, there's whistles and a foul committed against the Profs. By the looks of it, it was Mia Fody who was the one spearheading that charge. But Washington breaks the scoreless tie here in the second, thanks to Mary-Kate Anson. If you're just joining us here on Rowan Television Network, I'm Jake Clark, joined with Shane Alexa here in the broadcast booth. So ball is sent, deflected, and will go over the back line. No shot there for Sherman to try and defend.
Yeah, this is a situation for the Profs where you almost dominated in the first quarter. You almost have to collect your feet, collect your setting a little bit after that early goal from Washington.
All it took, again, just one shot, and that was all it took. So a perfect 100% for Washington as a team. And here's the goal scorer from a moment ago. It's Anson. We've got whistles, and it will stick with the Shore women. Weglars will be the one to send it back into play. She takes a dribble and now just drops it back, and it's taken away there by Wenzel. Kaylee Wenzel racing now up the near sideline. She's being defended there by Thompson. And the ball will go over the back line. It will stay with Rowan as they'll get it at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, good defending there from Thompson, forcing her outside, not allowing her to create much offense there.
They get it now to Gracie Merrick. Merrick with some nice stick work to keep that one in play. Merrick draws a double team, and it will just roll over the back line. Gracie Merrick getting a lot of touches here early in this one. The junior from Phillipsburg, New Jersey, still searching for her first goal of the season. As now Mary Kate Anson had it for a moment.
Yeah, Jake, we talked about in the open how this is a get-right game for both teams, especially the Profs. Definitely a big opportunity here. You're down one here for the Profs. Definitely going to have a mountain to climb in this first half and start of the second half as we get there.
And on the other side of things for Washington, this is a team that is coming into this game that's won their last two matchups. They beat a familiar opponent. That is, if you're a Rowan fan, they beat Stockton 3-2 at home. As the ball's inside the shooting circle now, it'll be going in favor of Washington as they'll send this one up, taken away in the middle of the field by the Profs. But then on the road, on September 20th, they played Catholic and won 2-0 against the Cardinals for 2 straight wins. They've won 3 out of their last 5, so a team that's a little bit hot coming into this one. Nice work defensively there by Washington. Great stick work from Merrick to keep that one from going out of bounds, but Wieglars is there to take it away from her. Weisler with it now for the Profs, trying to get things working. Pass was intended for Herman. It went back and forth between Herman and Radeball. Herman wins the battle, and Rowan has possession.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities so far for the Profs. Haven't been able to capitalize. Let's see if they can here.
Herman with a nice takeaway. Gets it inside the shooting circle. Tess Herman with a cross. That one's deflected, and it will go in favor of the Shore women.
A good idea there from Herman, looking to cross that one in front of the cage. Unfortunately, no one really there on the end of that one. Will go the other way.
Washington looking to try and move the ball up the field. They get it there to Campbell, and it will go out of play. It'll be Ashley Swan with it now. Swan getting some of her first early minutes. And now Campbell has it off a spin. Rowan looking to try and take it away. It was Herman in there. And again, that's one thing we talked about. You saw Tess Herman on the offensive side of the field there for the Profs, trying to orchestrate it and get her teammates involved. Now back on the defensive side of things. And one of the best defenders, not only on this team, but in the NJAC, the 2024 NJAC Defensive Player of the Year. So really used in every single facet of the game. A true Swiss Army knife for Michelle Andre and the Profs.
Yeah, and that's such a great asset to have as a coach. As we talked about earlier, it can really put her anywhere. So great on the offensive side on the ball and defensive side.
Herman last year, 3 goals, 7 points, 2 goals already on the year this year. And we've mentioned that the accolades for Tess Herman on what she can do defensively for this team. As Rowan is trying to now break through offensively, here's Kowalczyk. Sends the ball inside the circle. Rowan trying to fight for it, but it's cleared out there by Anson.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those crosses early on in this game where no one's really on the end of them. Kowalczyk there crossing that one inside, no one there. But eventually, as we talked about earlier, one of those is bound to go in. It's only a matter of time here for the Profs in Glassboro.
Again, 1-0 here at Coach Richard Wacker Stadium. As that one will just go over the back line. Running after it was Peyton Ryan, another one of the freshmen here that's made an impact early. Peyton Ryan, the NJAC Rookie of the Week as of September 22nd, so just a couple days ago. But Rowan, a team with some skilled veterans and some bright freshman, and now a couple of whistles. And play is stopped, and it looks like it'll be a corner here for the Profs. Their first of the quarter, third of the game. And this is a big opportunity for Rowan to try and tie it here with 4:24 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, ginormous opportunity here. We talked about the chances, unable to capitalize in the first quarter. That was the big difference so far in this game. Opposition's been able to, the Profs haven't. Let's see if they can do it.
So it'll be Tess Herman to send the ball into play. It's touched outside the circle. There's a shot. Nice save by Sherman, who's able to just kick it away with the big leg pads. Rebound shot, and that one bounced around, but it's just offline. Ricocheted wide right there for the Profs, but a good opportunity there for Rowan.
We've seen a lot of bounces like that in front of the cage, not taking the proper bounce there for the Profs. Only a matter of time, as we keep saying. Another opportunity here for the Profs.
Another corner here for Rowan as they get it in. This one is sent towards the cage by Ronning. Was deflected and looked like it tried to go off the stick of Wenzel, but she was unable to convert. So another defensive stand for the Shore Women of Washington College as they hold on to a slim 1-0 lead, but Rowan still with possession.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a larger lead than just 1-0. The Profs unable to score thus far. Almost feeling like a 5 or 6-0 game instead of a 1-0 game.
Yeah, certainly the Profs have to be a little bit frustrated as they've had more chances, but they haven't been able to break through, and it really feels like Washington has only had one chance, and they were able to capitalize thanks to Mary Kate Anson. But here come the Profs. Battaloni with a backhanded shot, saved by Sherman. She has been tremendous here tonight. Yet another save there for the goaltender for the Shore Women.
Yeah, I feel like almost all of her saves thus far have been kick saves. She's used that right foot numerous times to deny the Profs of scoring opportunities.
Again, Sherman entering this one in 81% save percentage this year.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty good. Pretty good.
It
so.
certainly is. Certainly a number that you want to boast if you're the junior goalkeeper. You also winning the team's Most Improved Player Award last season, so making great strides from her freshman to her sophomore year, now in her junior year, and picking up right where she left off.
Yeah, and only in your junior year, she's only going to get better, as you talked about, Jake, making strides from her freshman and sophomore year. She's only going to get better from here. And if you're a Washington fan, that's a really exciting thing to think about.
It certainly is, as she has been terrific here tonight. And here come the Shore Women. Trying to work the ball up midfield. It's Houlihan who had it for a moment. The sophomore from Cherry Hill, right around the corner here from Glassboro. As it'll be Rowan possession, they will flip fields and they'll get it over to Gray on the far side of the field. Battling for it in the middle, and the Profs will get it back. And now here's Merrick patrolling the middle of the field, being swarmed now by a few Shore Women. And now the ball inside the circle. Rowan trying to get a shot off, but a nice takeaway there for Kendall Thompson. One of the four captains of this team, and she shows why right there.
Yeah, good idea there from Merrick, trying to orchestrate something for the Profs offensively. Going through almost 2 or 3 defenders, unfortunately for her, unable to do so.
Now less than a minute remaining here in the first half of action. And another opportunity here late in this first half for Washington. Anson had it for a moment. Now the cross broken up for the time being, and Rowan will clear it out. Looked like almost a fast break opportunity there. They certainly had a few numbers, but the Profs able to break that one up. Now another opportunity here right in front of the cage. We've got whistles, and it will be going in favor of the Profs. But a good opportunity there to apply some pressure on Mariah Giuliano and that Rowan back line.
Yeah, so far for me, the theme of this game has been there's a lot of crosses, and neither team has really been able to get somebody on the end of them. Saw there for Washington, Another goal scoring opportunity here, almost incoming for the Profs.
Just a couple seconds remaining now here in the first half. There's whistles, and that will do it for half number one. Washington with a slim lead on the scoreboard thanks to Mary Kane Anson, who has scored the lone goal in this contest, gives the Shore women a 1-0 lead over the Profs. And Shane Rowan really just has to try and figure out a way to convert on their plethora of opportunities. Rowan out shooting Washington 8-1 with 5 shots on goal compared to Washington's 1. But all that matters at the end of the day is the number up there on the scoreboard in which Washington leads 1-0.
Yeah, I would love to see what coaching adjustments both coaches and both teams are going to make in this second half. It'll definitely be interesting to see as we approach this second half.
Second half coming up in just about 9 minutes or so. Stick with us here on Rowan Television Network as we will be back with the second half of action right after this. Everybody, welcome back. The second half just about to get set to get underway, but we're going to take a look at some of the highlights there from the first half as Washington leads 1-0 here over Rowan.
Yeah, Sherman has been fantastic to say the least in the first half, doing it throughout the entire game. Multiple key momentum type saves for Sherman. A lot of bounces going her way, and we'll see if she's going to be able to keep up that momentum in the second half.
She's taking a walk off the field there. Much needed water. And
Yeah,
the goal there for Mary Kate Anson.
Yeah, Anson doing it all offensively and defensively, and you saw there on that goal, just kind of driving that right-hand side, finding the inside and burying it home, resulting in the 1-0 lead here in Glassboro.
You talk about the impact that Sherman has made here in this one. 5 saves on the day for the Shore women in the cage, and she'll be looking to try and replicate that and keep the goose egg on the scoreboard for the Profs as Rowan is trying to get themselves back into this game, as it's 1-0 here as we begin the second half. The Profs coming off here with a hot start as there's whistles and already an early corner here for Rowan. Now their 5th of tonight's contest, first here early in the second half.
Yeah, the story of the first half was opportunities. Couldn't find the cage in the first half. Hopefully that changes. We talked about to end the first half going into halftime. What coaching adjustments were they going to make for both squads? We'll soon find out.
So it'll be Tess Herman, who has done a very nice job on both sides of the ball, inserting the ball here yet again. They get it out to Ronning. Ronning looking to orchestrate the offense. They get it now to Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk with a shot far out, and that one is saved there from Sherman. So picking up right where she left off in that first half is Charlotte Sherman, but Kowalczyk, the leading goal scorer for the Profs, couldn't find the back of the cage that time.
Yeah, we talked about earlier how it was almost a bend, don't break defense for the opposition. See if the Profs can break them the second half.
Yeah, I think bend, don't break is an excellent way of saying what the Shore women have done defensively is now they've transitioned good defense into offense as it goes over the back line, and it will stay by the looks of it here with Washington. Bringing the ball all the way up the field was Tara Radenbaugh.
Yeah, and I mentioned it earlier. If you watch the first quarter, you would not think that the Profs were losing this game 1-0.
You certainly wouldn't. Rowan with 8 shots compared to the 1 for Washington. But the Shore women putting their foot on the gas here, trying to double their lead from 1-2. Rowan fighting hard defensively. The ball now into the circle here for the Shore women. Right in front of Giuliano. She is on high alert. It's being bounced around, but Rowan will clear it out, and Badaloni will send it up the field. Racing after it are 2 players for Washington, trying to run it down, and the Shore women will get there first. In pursuit was Peyton Ryan for Rowan, and now she'll take it away. One of the standout freshmen here for Rowan, as we're about midway through the season. Both of these teams with 7 games played to this point. Rowan came in with a 4-3 record. Washington a 3-4 record. Although the Shore women have won 2 straight, and they've won 3 out of their last 5, so they're looking to try and keep the win streak alive here against the Profs. If the score remains as it is, they'd be successful in doing so.
Yeah, when the offense is struggling like this, it makes the defense they have to be so efficient defensively, because if you allow one more goal, it's almost like you don't know if the Profs can get back in this game. It's so much more imperative for the defense to be on their toes.
Even though it's only a 1-goal lead, I would have to agree that they've still got 30 minutes. Well, now a little bit less than that as we're here in the second half, but they've still got 2 quarters to try and get back into this game. So time not an issue yet here for Rowan. The Shore women trying to move the ball up. Kowalczyk takes it away. Some nice dribbling as she'll maintain possession after the whistle. Sends the ball up, is looking for Ronning and finds her. So here come the profs. It's Ryan with it. Peyton Ryan working deep into that shooting circle there, and sticks collide, and now yet another corner here for the profs. Their 6th of the game, 2nd here in the 3rd quarter, and a good opportunity thanks to Peyton Ryan, the freshman from Oakland, New Jersey.
Yeah, Peyton Riley, all over the field so far. Props yet another opportunity. Hopefully they can capitalize.
So Rowan looking to try and tie this game here on their 6th corner of the night. But Charlotte Sherman and this defense have been incredible. They get it to Battaloni. Battaloni rifles one off, deflected in front, being batted around. Rowan still with a chance there, but whistles blow, and Washington with yet another great defensive stand. The profs with a lot of opportunities, but they just can't convert, Shane.
Yeah, we've seen that so many times where the ball is just in front of the cage, just taking the improper bounce that the profs need. As I keep saying, we hope it's only a matter of time. As you said, Jake, time not an issue yet, but as we get closer into the 4th quarter, who knows?
Battaloni now with it in some open space. A nice takeaway, though, by Hut Robles. Jam Hut Robles, one of the 4 captains of this Shore women team. The senior from Princess Anne, Maryland. Had a nice stop as Rowan has it back now. This one sent into the circle by Ronning. And Hut Robles is there as she'll send it now into play. Kowalczyk trying to win it back. Whistles and a stoppage. It'll stick with Washington.
Yeah, Hut Robles had a lot of time there. It looked like she was indecisive on what she wanted to do with that pass. And a change of possession here that'll go the props' way.
So now Tess Herman coming up to talk to the official. Another player there for Washington. 1 for each team as they're trying to get this sorted out. The clock is stopped with about just under 10 minutes here in this 3rd quarter. It'll stick with Rowan. Casey Abbott was the one to send it into play. Yet another one of the freshmen here for the profs. As we've talked about, a lot of young talent in this presumably class of 2029 that comes in for Michelle Andre and this profs field hockey squad. Hut Robles with it, sending it now up the field, and here come the Shore women. Rada Ball had it for a moment, taken away by Ronning. And Alexa Ronning with a takeaway in the middle of the field, sends a ball up, deflected, and ends up on the stick of Washington.
Yeah, Ronning doing a good job there of orchestrating some offense. So far in the 2nd half, she's been all over the field.
Herman had it for a moment, taken away by the Shore women, and now some green turf in front of here for Washington. Great defensive work there on the near side of the field by Alexa Ronning, but it'll stick with Washington. Hut Robles sends this one in, taken away by Herman around the 40-yard line. Back and forth here in the midfield as Rowan is still looking to try and get on the board. Ronning flips fields now to the far side. It's Merrick. Gracie Merrick moving with some urgency, but it's taken away. Nice play on the far side of the field there for Washington by the looks of it. Emily Marson.
One positive I see so far in the 2nd half is the profs struggled to switch the field in the 1st half. They've done that a lot in the 2nd half. Switching the field means creating more opportunities, and more quality opportunities means goals on the board, hopefully for the profs.
Again, the opportunities has not been the tough part today for the
No.
Profs. 10 shots, 7 being on goal, compared to just the one, which has found the back of the cage. Now here come the Profs. It's Olivia Griffin with it, sending the ball up the field, and there's a lot of open room. Rowan looking to try and make something happen, as it's Ella Toll with it here on the near side. Toll gets it back to Griffin. It's taken away, though, by Hutt Robles. Back and forth battle here on the near side of the field, as Rowan is really moving with some urgency, trying to get back in this thing with about 7 minutes remaining here in this third quarter.
And that was a great play there from Thompson to fend off Toll. If Thompson's not there, that's a counterattack going the other way with a 3-on-1 opportunity. Great defense there.
And how about that? I don't think I've ever seen
Never
that.
seen that before.
Covered field hockey for a couple of years now, but I've never seen a player's stick get caught on the laces of another player's shoe. So they tell you learn something new every day, and
There you go.
that's the thing that I learned here at the field hockey game at Richard Wacker Stadium. Certainly never seen that before as Washington looks to try and move up the field. About 6:20 remaining here. If you're just joining us on Rowan Television Network, I'm Jake Clark with Shane Alexa here in the broadcast booth. No goals yet here in this second half. Nice stick work there as the ball stayed in play. Everybody thought it went out. No whistle, and we'll play on as it was Natalie Watkinson who has it.
Yeah, coaches say always got to play to the whistle in any sport.
It'll be Abbott to send this one back into play. She'll take a dribble, now send it up. It's Prendergast. Prendergast trying to dribble around the defender there in Watkinson. She'll sky this one high. That one knocked down off the stick of Tyler Rice. And it will go in favor of Washington. We mentioned this is an out-of-conference game for both of these teams as conference play looms around the corner within the next couple of games or so for both Washington and Rowan. As the Profs are now on the move, Ella Toll sent it into play. Ball in the circle now for the Profs. Kowalczyk is there, dribbling around a couple defenders. Tries to get a shot off and does. It's ricocheted and it goes wide right.
Great scoring opportunity there from Kowalczyk, doing it all herself. If it's going to be anybody, to get the Profs on the board, it's going to be Kowalczyk. She's done it all season long, although the season is somewhat early. Kowalczyk has been a force to be reckoned with.
She certainly has, Shane, all season long, as we've mentioned here on this broadcast. Sydney Kowalczyk, the transfer from Wagner College, redshirted there last year, and now in her first season of play in the brown and gold with the Profs, leads the team in goals with 6, as we've got whistles and a stoppage of play. But again, an out-of-conference matchup, Washington playing in the Centennial Conference, Rowan in the New Jersey Athletic Conference, and conference play coming up for both of these teams. Rowan will open up conference play on October 8th here at Richard Wacker Stadium against Stockton, a team that Washington has seen and beaten this year. It's Tess Herman with it, tries to get the pass to Kowalczyk. It's broken up for the moment. Whistles, and the Profs will have a corner.
Yeah, Jake, you mentioned earlier, opportunities are not what is the issue right now for the Profs. It's getting it in the back of the net. Yet another opportunity to see if the Profs can take advantage.
The corner counter goes from 6 to 7 now here for Rowan, as it'll be Tess Herman yet again being the inserter as we take another look there at the call. Kowalczyk got in close, but the whistles were blown, and Rowan with a great opportunity here. Herman sends it into play, and the Profs looking to try and make something happen. It's Kowalczyk who made one defender miss. Now with a shot being batted around. Nice save there by Sherman, who has been terrific. The Profs still with a chance. Toll sends the ball in from right around the line there for the circle, and it is cleared out by Washington. Another tremendous save for Charlotte Sherman. Rowan still with possession.
Yeah, Sherman, we talked about earlier with a 1.53 goals against average. Sherman has been spectacular so far in this ball game, keeping her squad with the shutout on the board.
McManus runs that down for the Profs as Rowan is looking to reset here offensively.
And so far we've seen in this third quarter, it's very similar to the first quarter. The Profs have outpossessed the opposition. The second quarter, it was all Washington.
As Ronning is with it here in the middle of the field. Alexa Ronning sends the ball there. It'll find the back of the cage, but no other Prof could get their stick on it inside the circle. So that one is all null and void as it's knocked down there by Rowan. It's Mia Fody who was the one to knock it down. Fody sends the ball. We've got whistles, and now the 8th corner of the night here for the Profs with 2:42 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, 2:42 remaining in the third quarter. Talked about it earlier. A lot of time in this game, still a lot of opportunities to come for the Profs. Hopefully they could take advantage. Unable to do so, as we've seen. Sherman, the cause of that, been spectacular in net.
It was a nice job by Fody to win back possession there for Rowan and force now corner number 8. Tess Herman, the captain, sends the ball into play. She'll get it to Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk is almost stood up and falls hard down to the turf, but the whistle sounds, and we'll have now the 9th corner of the night here for Rowan after some physical play right around the shooting circle line.
Yeah, that connection between Herman and Kowalczyk, I think, is going to be key in the fourth quarter. I think those two are really my key players to watch in this fourth quarter. I've seen the Profs like to work on the outside.
Ronning sends it in. That one deflected just wide to the left. Sherman went airborne to try and deflect that one, but she didn't even need to. Ronning sent it in from outside the circle. It looked like Herman was there to deflect it, but she just sent it in the wrong direction. And now Rowan with yet another corner here, the 3rd in succession. Corner number 10 of the night here for the Profs. So we'll do it again. This one's sent into the circle. This one's deflected and just wide to the left again. Rowan with shot after shot after shot, opportunity one after another, and they can't find a way to break through.
At this point, it's just the wrong bounce. As we keep saying, and we hope that one is bound to bounce the Profs' way. It's really the story of the game. The bounces haven't gone the Profs' way, and unfortunately for the Profs, Washington got a good bounce, and they scored, and that's the story of the game thus far.
13 shots for Rowan, 8 on target, but a good opportunity here. Nice save by Sherman. It's still floating around in the circle. Sherman goes airborne to make that save, not afraid to be great in the cage. Here, makes another kick save right in front of her. And Charlotte Sherman has been terrific here defensively for Washington, making 2 electrifying saves there.
Sherman diving to her left, doing a great job. As you said, Jake, she got airborne using her pad there as she makes another save, another goal-scoring opportunity for the Profs.
And they convert. So Rowan finally finding the back of the cage after it felt like they had a million different opportunities. They get their first here in the third quarter and tie it up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, and it was on a rebound. Sherman made a good save, right place, right time for the Profs, and Mia Fody gets on the board for the Profs. She subs out of this game, knotting it up at 1 with 1:11 to go in the third quarter. Got a new ball game here in Glassboro.
So 1-1, Mia Fody, the sophomore from Williamstown, New Jersey, the one to get the Profs on the board first. Now goal number 3 for her on the year, and she scored in back-to-back games now for Rowan. Scored last game on the road against Haverford, where the Profs dropped that one 4-2, and picks up a goal here today for Rowan.
Yeah, Fody scoring in back-to-back games is a great sign if you're a Rowan Prof fan. Getting her hot going in the conference play is key for this team.
So whistles, and now back where we started. Tie game here is there's just about 30 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. A late goal there from Mia Foti. Washington trying to get back on the move. A pass that was too strong and goes over the back line. It'll be Alexa Ronning now to bring the ball back into play here for Rowan. Just dribbles this one out to the corner, trying to waste as much time as possible and not give Washington any momentum. But they've got a chance here. Nice stick work on the back line, and that was Paige Gray able to loft that one up in the air with her stick. As the clock hits zeros, as we're through three quarters here from head coach Richard Wacker Stadium. 1-1 your score, thanks to Mia Foti getting the props on the board here in the third quarter. It's anybody's game as we head into the fourth right here on Rowan Television Network.
Tied at 1.
Oh, Badaloni got a green card, so I think Rowan might be down a player for the first 30 seconds.
Jeez.
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
One to one your score here as the fourth quarter is just about to get set and underway here from Richard Wacker Stadium. A lot of saves being made by Charlotte Sherman.
Jake, we've talked about her all day, all game long. Might as well talk about her some more. Sherman on that save, diving to her left, airborne, using her pad to create a great save. And she's been all over the field thus far, creating saves. Her squad not keeping this game knotted up at 1.
8 saves on the night for Charlotte Sherman. But the Profs came through big there late in that third quarter. It was Mia Foti, the goal scorer for Rowan, to knot the game up at 1 goal apiece. At the tail end of that third quarter, Rowan's Lily Badaloni picked up a green card. So the Profs looking to try and hold strong defensively. This one sent into the shooting circle, a hard cross. We've got whistles, and now the first corner of the night here for Washington will happen early in the fourth.
Yeah, not a good sign for the Profs. We talked about it earlier. The first shot on goal they had, they scored. This is the first corner they've had. Not a good sign here for the Profs.
So Washington gave up their lead just moments ago. It'll be Emma Campbell, the one to send this ball into play for the Shore Women as they try and break our 1-1 tie. They've got it right outside the shooting circle. A weak ball sent in. Kowalczyk is there, and she'll just clear it away for the moment. Still in the circle here. And that one will find the back of the cage. A shot that just sneaks by Mariah Giuliano. And just like that, Washington has regained the lead. It's 2-1.
Yeah, not much Mariah Giuliano could do there. Kind of a bang-bang type play.
However, they will say nobody gets the stick on it. So it looked good and looked like it was in the circle, but the shot must have come from just outside of it. The officials wave it off, so a correction there. We will stick with a tie game at 1-1.
Yeah, so the Profs catch a break there and live to tell the tale.
Was certainly an impressive shot from where it was from the left side of what looked to be the shooting circle, as the ball is now back there for Washington. Ronning the one to clear it away for the moment. But a shot that went from left to right and kind of just got around
There we go,
everybody.
Jake.
But here's Badaloni with it. Badaloni with one defender to beat. And a nice takeaway there from Washington. Badaloni wins it back. Air dribbles for just a couple seconds. Sends the ball towards the circle. But the Shore women able to take it away.
Yeah, Badaloni throughout this game has been fantastic on that near side. They really used her in that first quarter, and they're starting to use her in this fourth quarter. So I think that's a good sign for things to come for the Profs.
Sticks go a little too high there for Washington. And the Profs looking to try and take the lead. 1-1 your score. A scare for Rowan defensively, but the goal waved off for Washington earlier, just a couple minutes ago, here on Rowan Television Network. If you're just joining us, I'm Jake Clark here with Shane Alexa, as this one has been a back-and-forth thriller between the Rowan Profs and the Washington College Shore women.
Yeah, and this is the first time where the Profs have really had momentum in their favor since the first quarter. See if they can take advantage here.
Badaloni with a nice touch. Intended pass for Kowalczyk is broken up. Now whistles, and it will stick here with Washington. Kendall Thompson, the one to bring it back into play. Thompson, one of the anchors defensively for Washington, a team captain in her senior year. But here come the Profs. Gracie Merrick with a shot. That one being batted around, and it just misses there for Rowan. Yet another chance for the Profs. Shot number 17 on the night there.
Yeah, it looked like it. Couldn't tell, but it looked like it took a deflection late there on its way in. As we've said before, those bounces not going the Profs' way.
They credit Mia Foti on the shot, who scored the goal for the Profs back in that third quarter. Rowan with a chance here as Herman is fighting for it inside the circle. We've got whistles, and it will go with the Shore women.
Yeah, the Shore women have been defensively sound all game long. You talked a little bit about Thompson. She's been their key defender so far for me this game. Really doing a good job of forcing the Profs inside. They like to use the outside of the field, as we've seen throughout this game. And here they come on the counter, going 3-2.
So a good opportunity here for the Shore women on the stick of Tyler Rice. She sends that one and just misses.
Yeah, Rice not happy with herself, wanting that one back, just missing that one, as you said, far post.
I apologize, that was Samantha McMahon. McMahon, though, frustrated there, Shane, has really only had one defender and the goalie to beat and just missed it.
Yeah, chance she might want back depending on how the end of this game goes.
And now Rowan looking to try and make something happen. Sydney Kowalczyk with a nice backhanded pass there, and the Profs are on the move. It's Ryan with it, and that'll result in a corner for the Profs. Good pass from Kowalczyk to Ryan. Sticks collide there in the circle, and Rowan's got yet another corner, their 11th of the contest tonight.
Yeah, Kowalczyk, as we've mentioned numerous times, the leading goal scorer for this team. She's going to be key in this fourth quarter if the Profs want to hang on and come away with a victory, as is Tess Herman. I'd like to see that 1-2 connection we saw a little bit in the third quarter. Hopefully that continues for the Profs.
So the sun now officially set here from Richard Wacker Stadium as the Profs looking to get something going. A big collision, no call. This one just flipped up towards the cage. Whistles, and now another corner here for Rowan. A big collision between Tess Herman and a Shore Woman defender.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who the defender was, but interesting to see in this fourth quarter that the referees are letting them play. Definitely something you want to see as another corner comes our way.
It's Ronning with the shot, and she finds the back of the cage. Alexa Ronning comes through in a big spot here in the fourth to give the Profs a 2-1 lead.
Ronning, right place, right time, top of the circle, fires it home past Sherman. She's had the answer all game long. Not right there. Great shot, great opportunity there. Right place, right time. A lot of power on that shot. Nothing Sherman can do. 2-1 in favor of your Profs.
So Alexa Ronning scores goal number 2 for her senior season. In a big spot here as the Profs take the lead against Washington College, 2-1 now here in this fourth quarter.
Ronning was a little quiet in that first half, got it going in the third quarter, and she comes away with a huge goal in this fourth quarter to put the Profs on top.
That goal goes to number 17.
But Jake, yeah, now for me, it's going to be focused on the defense. The offense has struggled in this game. Defense has done a good job so far in this game. Have to hold the opposition here.
They will give Ronning the goal, the assist to number 17, Paige Gray. So Gray picks up assist number 3 for her season. As Rowan with a big goal there late in this game, but still plenty of time for Washington to try and even the score. 8.5 minutes remaining here in regulation between these two squads as Washington trying to apply some pressure. As the whistle sounds, and by the looks of it, it looks like the Shore Women will get their second corner of the night, second corner of the quarter here with them trailing on the scoreboard by 1.
Yeah, haven't had a lot of opportunities contrary to the Profs, so we'll see how the Profs defend this. As I said before, the defense is going to be key with 8:23 to go in this ball game. The focus was on the offense for the majority of this game. Now it's defensively.
Corner is set in, shot taken, and it's wide right there for Washington. Good defensive stand for the Profs, and Mariah Giuliano, who hasn't faced a whole lot of action, but has made a couple of saves when needed. The NJAC Defensive Player of the Week this year for the week of September 8th.
The focus has been on Sherman, rightfully so. Now it's going to be on Giuliano late in this game to make a couple key saves, to hopefully lead her team to victory.
This one lofted high into the night sky here from Richard Wacker Stadium. Sun fully set here in Glassboro, New Jersey. Was a nice sunset, but it looked like we missed it. It kind of set behind us. Got to take a look at that at halftime. Is now just about 7:15 here on the East Coast with about 7 minutes remaining in this game. Good takeaway by Casey Abbott, who's now double teamed close towards that near sideline, looking around for some help. She holds on to it for 2 long whistles, and it'll go over the back line now. It'll stick with Washington.
Yeah, Abbott, a formidable force so far this season, played in all 7 games, started 6 of those. So a great defensive piece to have for the Profs.
The only game she didn't start this year was against Johns Hopkins back on September 7th. Started in 6 of the 7 games here for Rowan. Ball in the circle, but that one will be cleared away by the Profs, and they'll get it out to Ava Thomas. Ava Thomas speeding up the far sideline, has 1 defender to beat, and she is racing from one end of the field to the other. Thomas sends the ball into the circle. Nice takeaway there by Washington.
Jake, earlier you mentioned how much speed she has, showing it there on that far side, looking to put the props up too.
And now Washington coming back, trying to bring a speedy run of their own, but it'll just roll over the back line, out of play. As time is now certainly of the essence here for Washington. Every second that ticks away is vital here for the trailing Shore women, who led for a good majority of this second half, but not after the goal from Ronning to put the Profs up 2-1.
Yeah, they've led for almost felt like eternity in this game, and the Profs were unable to do anything about it in the first half. Second half, scored 2 goals. Now it's a 2-1 ball game. Different ball game here. Profs trying to come away with a victory with 5:14 to go.
It's Fody with it there on the far side of the field, the goal scorer to get the Profs started offensively. Scored back in that third, takes a swing at it, loses her stick for the moment, and it'll go with Washington.
Yeah, just unfortunate there for Fody, as you said, Jake. Losing her stick there. Nothing much you can do for Fody.
Rowan applying the pressure here deep into that Washington territory. As they'll win it back in the middle of the field. They get it up to Gracie Merrick. Merrick trying to send the ball to Fody towards the circle, but it's broken up by the Shore women. Rowan wins it back on the far side of the field there. Looks like Radaball.
Yeah, the Shore women not in much of a hurry, and as we've talked about, time is not on their side with 4:15 to go here in Glassboro. Might have to pick up the pace a little bit.
Now just 4 minutes remaining here in regulation, and the Profs looking to salt away some time off the clock here with a slim 1-goal lead. Potentially looking for some more insurance. And Shane, if they can find the back of the cage one more time here late in this fourth quarter, it almost feels like it could be the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, just because we've seen each offense struggle in this game, as we've talked about numerous times, a lot of chances, but both teams struggling to put it in the back of the cage. Profs doing it twice, and the Shore women once. But we've seen it throughout the game. The Profs have been able to outpossess the opposition, and now they have to do it in a key 3 minutes and 16 seconds left in this ball game.
Ball will roll over the back line. And so it'll be with Washington. Clock continuing to run here, and the Shore women have to start moving with some urgency. It looks like it'll be Hunt Robles to send the ball into play for Washington. And we talked about this being an out-of-conference game. We talked about Rowan begins their conference play in early October against the Stockton Osprey, but conference play begins the next game that Washington has, as this will be their final tune-up before their Centennial Conference schedule gets underway, as they're looking to try and tie it up here with about 2:30 remaining. It's Rice with it, battling against the Rowan defense. She'll drop it back in the circle now, and it's taken away by the Profs. And Ronning, the goal scorer, will just send that one up into the air as it deflected off of the stick of Radaball.
Yeah, the Profs caught a break there. Excuse me. Rice was cutting towards the goal. Unfortunately for her, her teammate didn't see her. Definitely a missed opportunity there for the Shore woman.
They get it back to Ronning, and Ronning will just send this ball up over the back line. So Rowan trying to waste as much time as possible and hold strong defensively for the final moments of regulation, about 1.5 minutes remaining. So that one got a little bit of air off the pass from Hunt Robles, and now Washington looking to move up the field. It's McMahon who had it for a moment, dropped it back, and the Profs trying to take it away. We've got whistles. Which way is it going? And it'll go with Washington. Hutt Robles sends this one on the ground. Got it over to Watkinson, and Watkinson still with it. She'll send this one up the near sideline. That one for Rice, but it's taken away, and now we've got less than a minute remaining here from Richard Wacker Stadium. Whistles, and it will stick with Washington, and the Shore women have to move quickly now.
Yeah, definitely a sense of urgency is needed for this team, which they don't seem to have right now. Gotta hurry it up if you're a Shore woman fan.
Watkinson had it, goes over the back line, and the clock continues to run. 30 seconds remaining now. They've got to get something moving. They've got the ball around the circle. The clock continuing to move.
And in this case, you just have to get the ball towards the cage in this type of situation. Hopefully get a lucky bounce.
Even maybe sending the ball in from outside the circle and just hoping to get a deflection. And now, with less than 10 seconds left, it seems as though they'll have to do just that. They'll just send the ball towards that circle, and the clock will strike all zeros now here as the Profs hold on and pick up a come-from-behind 2-1 win over Washington College to improve their record to 5-3 on the year.
Well, going into this game, we said it was going to be a get-right game for both teams. Well, the Profs came away with a victory, and it was certainly a get-right game as they go towards in-conference games. Getting the team right was key. Coaching, for me, was key. I think they made a lot of great adjustments at halftime, resulting in this 2-1 victory over the Shore women.
Rowan certainly happy to come away with a win, but it felt like it could have been with a larger margin. 19 shots, 11 on goal compared to just 3 shots in total by Washington as they drop this one to move to 3-5 on the year. It was a great game in the cage for Charlotte Sherman, who only allowed the 2 goals, made a number of saves there. But Rowan comes away with the win. The Profs' next game will be at home right here at Richard Wacker Stadium on September 27th as they will face off with Arcadia for their senior day. As for Washington College, they'll be on the road at Gettysburg on the 27th to begin their conference play. So that'll do it for us here on Rowan Television Network. Big shout out to Jenna Sequella directing her first game here for RTN. As I'm Jake Clark with Shane Alexa here in the booth, we hope you have a great rest of your night.